do that in a car like this. It just, love it. Hi guys, hope you're all keeping well out in the Taycan Turbo S, and it is a rather splendid car. The more I drive it, the more I get to understand it, the more I like it. Now, you have to accept the fact it doesn't have a lot of noise, but the drive is honestly so good, it is quite easy to let that minor fact slip aside. But this being Porsche's first foray into EVism, if I can say that, it's not without its faults. Now, I've kind of boiled down to 5 things that I think are a little bit frustrating with this car, but if you've got a Taycan, it'd be great to hear what you think about this car in the comments, if there's anything that annoys you specifically, because it's very much an individual thing. What might annoy me might be fine for someone else, and equally there might be things that other people find very annoying that I think are just a bit, you know what, I'm not too fussed by that. So do get involved in the comments if you've got any ideas. But honestly, it is a really, really good car. If you've got one of these on the way, if you have a Taycan on the way, please do be excited about it, because it is a great car and you're not going to be disappointed. But in order to kind of dig into this video, we can't really do this whilst I'm out and about driving. We're gonna have to get out and show you the things that I find a bit frustrating. So yeah, there's gonna be 5 things that I find a little bit annoying, with a little bonus thing at the end, and I do hope you enjoy. Let's go. Okay, so area number 1 that I think could be improved upon with this car is, of course, the fact that it has 4 of these. Yes, 4 doors. For me, it's not the best design, and I'm sure there's a reason for this. Perhaps they were ticking a box, perhaps they were trying to compete with the likes of Tesla with this thing. Who knows, maybe the B-pillar is required there for a bit of extra strength. But 4 doors with this car doesn't really work for me. I think because of the way it looks and also the practicality aspects. So if we head round to the back of the car here and open this door here, I have this seat forward here a little bit, but already you can see the room is rather limited, and the back seats are pretty much for decoration. Now, I have to say it's not too bad once you're in. There is also quite a decent bit of headroom, even for a tall bloke, but it's not somewhere I'd want to sit for any length of time. Fine, I guess if you're a kid, you're going to fit pretty well in there, but yeah, for me, the fact that it's a 4-door is a bit strange. I'd rather it was a 2+2 2-door car, so 2 seats in the front, 2 in the rear that were accessed from the front, a 2-door coupe style, right? So if that was the case, this door here could be much further back and also allow easier access getting in and out of this thing, because I'm tall and getting in and out of this car, as you can see from the video here, isn't the easiest thing. You have to climb out round this B-pillar here, and it's pretty painful. It's not the most fluid motion of getting in and out of this thing. The McLaren was a lot easier with its bifold doors, the dihedral doors, sorry, I should say, bifold doors. It's not a patio, it's a car. But the dihedral doors you got on that were far better. But I think if this was a 2-door version, it would be just a little bit cooler for me and tick that box for practicality, especially from a driver's perspective. But of course you're going to get that on the Cayman EV anyway, right? So that is area number 1 that I would improve about this car. So point number 2 in this car is the center console. Now, I do really like the screens that you get in this car, and the haptic feedback you get when pressing the buttons or the areas on the screen is really very, very good indeed. But a few more buttons wouldn't go amiss. If you look at the buttons that you have available on other cars, it's so much more tactile, and of course a bit easier to find your way around if it's dark and you're not looking, or you want to keep your eyes on the road and you know off by heart where those buttons are. You can't really do that in this without having a good look, but it is a minor. But the area that I really don't like in the center console is here, and it is these 2 cup holders. I think for me they are just a little bit too family SUV. And the center console in this car divides not just the driver and the passenger, but opinions massively. There is a lot of talk on forums, online, very varying opinions about what this is all about. People who mostly dislike it. For me, Porsche are very good at over-engineering things, and they are very good at over-engineering a cup holder. If you look at the Cayman, the 718, for example, the 981, really cool cup holders in there, albeit they're probably not deep enough, or so I hear. But on this, I just think they're a little bit in your face. Now, at night, they do light up. You get a cool ring around here, which looks a bit cool, but I just think they're just a little bit there. Why are they there? Why have they put them there? I really don't know, but it is the way they designed the car. I would change this for something a lot cleaner that could be hidden when not being used. So area number 3, which I feel could do with a little bit of improvement, is the door handles. Now, it's very cool that when you open them, they all come out, and then when you lock them, they disappear again, like so. But for me, they just feel a little bit plasticky and a little bit under-engineered. While this is locked, I can kind of get round there and pull it, and it just feels like it's not great. And if I did enough pulling there, I could rip the thing off. Now, I'm sure this has all been tested, but I think there's some nicer designs that kind of slide out and back in. Yeah, so for me, this one isn't the best, if I'm honest, and potentially something that could be improved upon in future versions. Now, point number 4 that I find a little bit annoying in this car, we can do this one on the road, and it is the steering. Now, for me, the dead zone in the middle is just a little bit big. You kind of can turn the wheel quite a bit before anything starts happening in terms of direction. Now, I know it's a big car, carries a lot of heft, and it's not going to have the accuracy and the agility that a smaller, lighter, more nimble car might have, but honestly, it's not too bad, the overall feel, but that dead zone is just a little bit too big for me. Also, the shape of the wheel for me isn't really ideal. I prefer a wheel with a more oval side profile, right? That you might find in an Audi or a McLaren, for example. It's quite round in this, it's not bad, but I just find a chunkier wheel is a little bit better. And the GT wheel you can get as well, the heated option, is no different really. But that is a minor. It's still comfortable enough to use, but I would prefer the option of being able to get hold of a much chunkier steering wheel, because I just kind of like that tactile feedback when you're driving. Just a bit feels like you're kind of changing the motion of the car with a bit more gusto. Okay, coming around the front here for point number 5 with this car. And it's a bit of an annoyance more than anything else. It is, of course, the fact that to get this open, you need to release this catch down here, which is a bit of a palaver, to open the bonnet like so. And yes, I understand there's a reason for that, for safety. Should the catch be released for some reason, the electric catch, that it won't fly open in your face, and that's what obviously stops that. But it is a frustration. Other cars don't necessarily have that. So the McLaren, for example, didn't have that. It was a single close system, and of course, if it wasn't latched properly, it wouldn't let you drive anywhere. So there's safety measures they can build in to prevent the car from being driven when it's not latched in properly. So that for me is a little bit of an annoyance, but a minor one nevertheless. And the bonus thing that I would change about this car, and it is the weight of the thing. Now, at 2.3 tons, EVs are heavy. I get that, I understand it. 600 kilos of this car is the battery pack. You kind of need that to make it go. 600 kilos, it's an awful lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it still leaves 1.7 tons, there or thereabouts, 1,700 kilos of car without the battery pack. Now, if you look at a combustion sports car engine, a twin turbo V8, you're probably looking at about 200 kilos, 250 there or thereabouts, maybe a bit less for a very, very good one. So that power plant is a lot lighter than the batteries and the motors combined in this car. And that's the point. Because the battery pack takes up so much weight, it's down low on the floor for center of gravity, center of mass, so it's good for stability. But because it takes up so much weight, I think manufacturers of EVs need to be doing a lot more to trim the fat off in other areas, whatever that may be. But there has to be ways to make the rest of the car a lot lighter, so you can bring back that agility, that nimble change of direction, that pleasurable, fun, exciting driving experience that you'd get in a sporty kind of car. But yeah, I think for me, the weight thing is something that I hope will be improved upon as manufacturers find new ways of doing things with the electrification of cars. But that is it for this one. I do appreciate you watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do stay safe, stay well. See you on the next one. Bye for now.